Welcome back, everyone, to our playthrough of the career mode here in NASCAR Heat 2. So our last video was interesting. We picked up wins at Pocono and Michigan in extremely dominating fashion. We'll just be nice and put it that way. Both of those races were done with 5-star truck teams. And so our next race coming up will be with yet another 5-star truck team in Kyle Busch Motorsports in the number 4 truck. So our goal here is to come away with a top 7 finish at Chicagoland, which will be good for a payout of $40,000. Once again, I really have no idea what we're going to be spending this money on ever, because I've had no indication that we're going to be doing anything other than what we're doing, which is essentially running week to week and race to race. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe next season when we have a full-time ride, there'll be something that we can use that for. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get racing and head to Chicago. All right, we are green at Chicago, and once again, we are on the pole. All right, let's see what happens here. Now, this is another track that you can, in the truck, easily run it wide open, easily. So let's see if they can hang with us on the start. I see one truck coming. Oh, look, it's the 8 truck. I like it. Oh, look out. No need to get into me now. If you can pass me, just pass me. Ooh, we are turning a lot of RPMs. I ran a grand total of 0 practice laps here. I simply took a setup very similar to what I was running at Pocono, plugged it in, and hit qualify. Because I knew exactly that we would be able to run this pretty well wide open easily, and with that information I knew I could get it at least close with the setup I had been using at Pocono and Michigan. All right, so now we are once again way ahead. All right, lap 2 of 10. Ooh, I gotta pay attention where I'm going. Looking at buttons on the controller instead of where I'm going. All right, so we are already 2 seconds ahead. Let's see, the next time by at the start-finish line, I want to see how much faster we are than second place. All right, so about 2.9 seconds ahead. Let's see what that equates to in 1 lap. Yikes. Once again, we're over a second faster per lap. This, I don't understand how this is happening. Because as I've said on many occasions in my setup videos, I don't claim to have some super secret knowledge or some exploit that I'm using. Far from it. So this is bad. All right, 5 laps to go, and looks like we're gonna win by another 10-second interval. I just don't know how you explain this. How do you explain the AI being this bad? I don't know. I don't get it. All right, we're going to keep chugging. I'm sure it gets better as we go along, right? It gets better. We're going to keep chugging away. Keep running races, keep running series. It's going to get better. Boy, there are no bumps whatsoever on this track. Since we are now at a point in this season, our introductory season, where we are at essentially where the real life NASCAR guys are at. you know that this track is bumpy. In fact, some of the cars will not run the bottom of 1 and 2 because it is so bumpy, but there are no bumps to be had here, or if there are, then this setup is simply absorbing them to the point that I can feel nothing. Because this thing feels paper smooth right now. All right, we are 9 seconds ahead now, and I don't remember how many laps we got left. Is this our last lap? Again, I cannot hear the spotter. I know he's saying something, but whenever he's saying something, I generally can't hear him over the engine sound. So is this it? No, we got one more. I heard him that time. He said final lap, because I was listening hard for him. We need a separate volume slider so that I can turn his volume up higher in relation to the engine, particularly. And it gets even worse if you're in traffic with the AI, because then you get other engines to hear, which makes it nearly impossible to hear the spotter then, for sure. All right, so we come off with the victory, a hard-fought victory, many battles with the AI, but we managed to come home with a 105 speed rating and a nice, close 10-plus second victory. I forgot to look at the end and see how many seconds it was. Oh, wow. Almost 14 seconds. Yikes. All right, so we come home with our 4th victory of our introductory season. How many people can say that in their introductory season in NASCAR, they come home with 4 victories? That would get you a ride in NASCAR very nicely. All right, celebration ensues. We have... No, I was going to try to see who the guys were around. We had one guy with his hat turned around backwards. And I was trying to see if we had anybody else in there that was worth paying attention to. All right, let's go ahead and move on through that. And again, we're at the very end of the season, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens now. All right, so our message from KBM says, nice job with that top 7 finish today. We'll keep you in mind for a ride next season. And our nice payout of $40,000 we'll add to our list, and we now have over 200 grand in our bank account. Oh, and we have our first message from a Cup driver. Congratulations on reaching 500 fans. People are getting to know you. It's really the first milestone you'll reach in NASCAR. Hashtag finally got your stripes. All right, so we have our first 500 fans, and we are on our way. Thank you very much, Chase Elliott. And let's see what happens. So again, we're at week 30. So the weeks are winding down for the truck teams. And I guess they're really winding down. So the season is finished. So we will not be participating in any of the chase races for the trucks. If you remember, the trucks, it's not actually a chase race. It's the final regular season race at Chicago for them. So now that the season is over, it's time to take a look at your contracts and sign with a team for next year. All right, let's go ahead and hit accept there. Oh, and it takes us right to the screen. And it shows us we have 8 teams available for a contract. And let's go ahead and view those. We have, all right, now we get really our first chance to take a look at the available contracts. And you can see it has all 3 series listed, leaving me to believe that at some point we could be doing a triple, meaning that we would run all 3 races in a weekend at a place such as Bristol, for example, where Kyle Busch has made that famous. But for now, of course, we only have rides available from the Truck Series teams. So let's take a look at what we've got available. Our first option is HFR, which is the Friesen team, and $5 grand per race, 3-star team. Another 3-star team, $5 grand per race, but it's, well, excuse me, same team, but it's now our ability to run our custom cars. Okay, I like that. I like that. So that way I wouldn't have to feel like I'm taking somebody else's ride within the team. Okay, so I like that idea. So now we have RWR and 3-star team, $5 grand per race. We can also run our custom paint scheme there, which I plan on, whatever team we choose, I plan on changing our paint scheme to be a little bit closer to the team paint schemes that we join. All right, now we come to the 86, which is Brandonville Motorsports, and they are also a 3-star team. And then we come to our first 4-star team, which is Beaver Motorsports in the 50. Or, of course, we can use our custom paint scheme. And this one, our payout goes from $5,000 to $7,500. All right, then we come to our second 4-star team, $7,500 per race. And that is Cop Motorsports. All right, and now we get to our 3 5-star teams, which have a payout of $10,000 per race. And that is Nemco, or the Nemechek family team, in the 8 car. We could also do the 87, which is we've got John Hunter that drives the number 8, and then Joe Nemechek, the dad, actually drives the 87 on occasion. So that's also an option. And then we can do our custom. Then we go to Brad Keselowski Racing, the 29, the 19, or our custom. And then finally Kyle Busch Motorsports, which has a bunch of them. We can go the 4, the 51, the 46, or the 18. And interesting, it doesn't say I can use. Okay, so I wonder why that is. On all of these others, I can use my custom, but when I get to Brad Keselowski, it says custom. But then I get to Kyle Busch, I have to press Y to use the custom car. So that's interesting. I wonder why that is. Maybe there was a maximum number available on the list here. I don't know. That's interesting. But for now, we're not going to make our decision. We're actually going to come back in our next video and go ahead and make that decision and get started with our first full-time season in the Truck Series. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more of our playthrough of the career mode here in NASCAR Heat 2.